What's up, and welcome to another One Piece chapter review from me, Super Nolan Man, and the Hyrule King, Bo Mitchell. Today we are talking about
Hey.
chapter 1165, Reverberations, and the summary is as follows. In his final stand, Rox finally pulls off the heist of the century by officially stealing the Herald flashback, which will henceforth be known as the Rox flashback. The power of Garp and Roger fighting together was so great, Akira Toriyama has reached from beyond the grave to co-write this battle, squeezing in every single Dragon Ball Z trope he could. Meanwhile, Shiki is out here declaring the Rox Pirates disbanded, which is the equivalent to me tweeting, "I declare World War II over," both in terms of authority and timeliness. Oda finally shows us all the things he's told us about in the present day storyline. A master of the classic rule of storytelling: tell, don't show, then show. Finally, after Garp and Roger realize that hitting Rox really hard isn't going to be enough, they decide that they should hit him really, really hard. And that works. What did the world government have to say about this? Government shutdown. Sorry, you'll have to wait on those files. Well, with that,
Nice.
go ahead and before we talk about God Valley as a whole, let's talk about just this chapter here. But go ahead and give me your top level thoughts and what you would give this chapter in terms of star giving.
Yeah, I think this one's a little bit lesser in terms of like how hype it is. Sure, it was definitely a bit more interesting to me, but sometimes the fights with Oda can be a little bit. I was kind of saying it was like he focuses on the more cinematic aspects almost, where he doesn't show the follow through. He shows the like connecting hits, and sometimes that can make it kind of
Sure.
uninteresting to look at. I don't know. But overall I think is a solid wrap up to this whole flashback. I'm glad it's over. It's been a long flashback with some really great moments, but it definitely feels like it's time for it to end. And yeah, overall I think it deserves a 4 at minimum. I don't think it rises above that. I
Sure.
and it's definitely not lesser than that, even though it's not like anything to write home about.
Yeah.
Um, I like the last chapter more, but I even then gave that one a 4. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm kind of I'm a,
Right. And here's the thing. I think
it's still cool.
we're feeling because
I'm glad it's over.
we've had so much building up to this.
Yeah,
And I I think there is a conversation to be had on, can Oda still deliver in the way he used to? Or if things kind of slipped away from him a little bit, not in terms of skill, but like, has the story become bigger than he was prepared for? And he's like, now I got to make all these things connect. He's kind of, I don't necessarily think that he's written himself into a corner, but
yeah, no,
you don't want to set something up by being like, this is the most important thing that happened in the history of the world post Void Century, and then have to show it later. Unless you have a
yeah,
really great idea of what you're going to do. But again, we're going to get to that in a second. This chapter alone, I'm about with you. I'm giving this another 4. I think this is still a great chapter here. Again, I think what the reason we feel kind of is because we wanted peak out of this chapter. We wanted this to
yeah.
be the
I
greatest
wanted like
chapter
the
that we've ever
climactic
seen.
moment. Yeah,
Yeah, and we didn't quite get that out of this, which again, that's a
it's
bummer.
tough to do that. Yeah,
But we still did get a lot of good out of this. And I want to highlight just a couple of the things here. First of all, let me pull it up here. Couple things I really liked here. I loved seeing Garp and Roger looking like Luffy and Ace. That's what I
yeah, and
kept
he
coming
even
to this
has
whole
the ace
chapter.
in the like final move name,
Yeah. Well, his sword
which
is called Ace, if I'm not mistaken. This sword,
I think so. Yeah,
he has a sword later on that has a different name. I can't think of what that's called, but I think this sword is Ace. I'm not 100% sure. I again,
That
I'm
sounds
not
vaguely familiar.
necessarily an encyclopedia with this stuff, but
Chat,
um,
call us out.
all right.
Put us straight.
Um, yeah, his thing here, yeah, God of Fire, Ace is that attack move at the very least. But that's been cool. But I really like the one thing that I think is done best about this chapter is the narrator bit at the end during this final struggle right
Yeah.
before the you know right before they get up for their final attack. Um it was I'm gonna read just the narrator parts, but well after
Yeah, go for
Emu,
it.
where Emu for the final time, Satellite Emu uh, declares that island will never
That
have
you.
existed. Understood. And so we get the narrator box West Blue, the God Valley incident, S level top secret classification, records of clandestine operations and special hazard pay for Naval Base G11 and Cipher Pool number 6. Registry of participants in the human hunt expunged. Site of event God Valley. Island location,
Yeah.
area, population details erased. Number of fatalities unknown. I love that narrator box there.
It's like a declassified document almost. It's pretty cool.
A little bit, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we have the final narrator box at the end, which is still, I like having it here because it gives a sense of finality to this, which was necessary. But yeah, the world
Yeah.
government attempted to cover up everything that happened here, but the downfall of Roxy Zebek and his lawless band of followers, the Rox Pirates, wreaked havoc on their era, cast unmistakable reverberations that shook the very world. And that one I feel doesn't hit as much because, and I alluded to it very jokingly in the summary, was the this is the tricky thing about you drip feeding information the way he has been over the last several arcs is that
Yeah.
what happened here that we didn't really know happened. Like there was what we
Basically
didn't
all
know
rocks stuff.
was basically like, yeah, we didn't know who Rox was. We got that, which is great.
Harold.
We and Harold wasn't even at God Valley.
Yeah. Well, like the first part of the flashback was Harold.
Oh right, and we're gonna get back to that. Like
Yeah.
I'm saying that like I almost care about that more than what's going on here, which is crazy to think about with how much God Valley was
It's
hyped
because
up.
it's relevant.
Exactly. I get the God Valley
Oh
stuff.
man.
I'm trying to think of what we didn't know about God Valley that we learned here. We learned the cause was Shocky. That stuff was really great. We learned
Shanks'
who was
brother.
all there. Uh,
Yeah.
well, we kind of knew we knew about Shanks' brother even before this flashback, though. But we
And
did
they
get
were
to
there.
see how he. Oh yeah. We got to find out. Well,
Oh,
actually, we already knew that that Shanks was found in a treasure chest at God Valley. We knew that
oh, that's
much.
right. Yeah.
Uh, so
Oh, no, I was trying to help you out.
I
You messed up, man.
and chat fact check me if
Get it.
that's not true because I'm pretty sure we at least knew that he was found in a treasure chest, but I thought we knew that he was found in a treasure chest at God Valley. I may be wrong in
Yeah.
that one, but I'm pretty sure. Um, but yeah, I mean, we get the character interactions, and I feel like if uh, this really could have been condensed into an excellent 3 to 4 chapters instead of the what was the 6. I think there was 3 really great chapters in here,
Yeah, 6 or 7.
if that's what he made it. If we're talking about when we first showed up on the island, that would have made it a really great, yeah, 3 maybe 4 chapters instead of going on as long as it did, because he took a lot of time to show us the stuff that we kind of already knew. Like we
We
knew
had too
that.
many side characters to talk about. Like, we didn't need to see Kuma. We didn't need to see Shiki. Like, like they were there. Like, okay, cool. But like, why'd you devote so much time to
And
them,
show
man?
them
Like,
once if you're going to show them.
yeah, show them
We
once.
didn't need
That's
to
good enough.
keep going back and forth. This is the one chapter I will say where I actually appreciate the looking back to it because it is we're putting the final bow on it. We're setting it up. But again, it's stuff we
Yeah,
knew
that's
about
fine.
before. We've heard about these things in the modern story, and now he's showing us them. and they just don't hit the same because it's I mean it's almost, is it weird to say like it's nostalgia baiting where he's trying to bring us back to like, man,
Yeah,
remember
kind
when
of.
this was revealed, now you're getting to see it. It's like, well, I mean, we knew, like, did I
Like,
need
guys,
to
this is
see?
when the Whitebeard pirates were formed, and here's where the Kaido pirates were formed,
Yeah, and while I
or
do,
Beast pirates.
and while I do jam with some of that, it's
Yeah,
specifically like, I mean, the one where I was like, okay, this is enough, was seeing Big Mom and Kaido and being like, hey, you owe me a life debt now because of this. It's like,
yeah, that was so unneeded.
yeah, I was like, we
Like
we
he's
knew
already
that.
said that in the flashback, even.
Yeah,
Like, why does that matter? Oh
yeah.
man.
So
Oh well.
again, I feel like this would have been really great as 3, maybe 4 chapters. Did not need to go as long as it did. But that said, uh I'm still very much enjoying myself. These are still great chapters. It just
Sure.
it falls short of amazing because he's I feel like he's trying to make too much out of it. But let's get moving through here. Um how do you think this does work as a wrap up of God Valley since we've been moving towards that way? Do you feel like, in fact, let's say that God Valley is done now. We're certainly getting back to
Probably.
Harold next chapter. I can't imagine us not doing that. I would be even honestly surprised to see more from Garp and Roger. Like, I'm pretty sure we're going to, like, next chapter we're just going to hear about those reverberations and seeing people kind of react to it at first. I don't think we're going back to the
Yeah.
island here. Um, so, um, what do we think of God Valley now that it's done?
I think it was solid. Um, but I think this is a good enough wrap up because he has all these things that he set up here. He might as well, even though it's redundant, he might as well be like, okay, here's where these guys are going, here's where these guys are going,
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
yeah,
And
and I do
the
like seeing there.
declassified document way is cool.
Yeah.
You know, that fits with God Valley. I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Overall, as a whole, I definitely agree. I wish it was a little bit more concise.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, I don't know. He dropped the ball a little bit on some of the stuff that we just didn't need to see. Like
Mm-hmm.
we literally had a whole flashback with Kuma and all the kids. It's like
Yeah,
we didn't need to see
Ivankov.
that
Yeah.
again. Yeah, Ivankov. Like why?
Yep.
Like they were fine. I'm not saying that he did a bad job with them, but it's like I don't like why are they here? Like get them out of here.
Yes, and because he's trying, he has so many different things going on, and when he's telling these bigger stories like Dressrosa or even
Oh man,
Wano,
Dressrosa was rough
um
sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, well, to some effect, these things kind of work out, but at the same time, I think it shows a little bit of the fatigue that's been going on as he adds so many different characters and so many different parties of what's going on here. And this
Yeah.
time, he's trying to do it in such a short section here. I think you gotta pick and choose which threads to really follow because we knew
Hmm.
and and the thing that I'm trying to figure out, and I haven't really decided for myself, is does he do a good job of depicting the chaos here? And I think
I'd say
he
at
could
times he
have.
does.
I think, again, me not being a top tier all timer writer, uh, like Oda,
Yeah.
I look at this and I'm like, man, I feel like we could have just had one chapter dedicated to the insanity that's going on and showing here's where everybody is. But then you focus in after that. You stop the jumping around. You find the 1 or 2 threads you want to follow, like what's going on with Garp and Roger, because they're going to be involved with rocks. Um, if you want to show just, Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, again, just a little bit. Um, and then maybe follow the dragon thread a little bit more because the dragon thread, I know that's
Yeah,
I
that was
see
interesting.
and it was interesting. I find oh, it was that this chapter or last chapter, I can't remember which one it was, where he finally like did something that mattered. Was that this
Oh,
chapter?
where he was
Uh,
holding the guy hostage with his
yes.
gun.
Was that this chapter?
That was this chapter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it
He's
is.
like, you will transport these people.
Yeah,
And
no,
he's
what
like,
are
you're gonna
you
hear
people
about this.
doing? Did you know
Yeah.
what we were aiding here? Yes. Yeah. Um, and he did manage to save some people. That's great. Good for
Yeah.
Dragon. He all's well that
Good
ends
job,
well, I
Dragon.
suppose.
Good job, Dragon.
Uh, but
You didn't
yeah.
save the ones that mattered, but you saved these people. Yep.
uh, yeah.
You lost 2 babies, Dragon.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I wonder if he knows that they're okay. Like I wonder if he like in the modern
No, he
story,
doesn't.
I wonder if in the modern story like if he somehow
He
knows
he's
that
probably
like
figured it out. Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to say. Like I wonder if that's like a critical part of his backstory like to him is like man I let those two twins die at God
Dude,
Valley.
that's why he's so serious all the time. He thought he'd killed 2 kids. I get fan theory confirmed. By fan theory. No.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man. But yeah, so many story threads really needed to narrow it down. Like one chapter showing us the chaos, then
Yes.
pick the threads you really want to chase down. And then I feel like this wrap up chapter might have worked a little bit better with that.
Yeah.
I think this is where you decide to show Kuma for the last time. I think things like showing people off of the treasure and stuff like that. Again, this is a good time for that. Um, Especially because it doesn't seem like he had a lot of ideas for Garpin Rocks versus Roger, aside from some admittedly really cool
Yeah,
scenes,
not really.
like them tossing the coats down, stuff like that. Like this was
That was cool.
fan servicey, but I feel like there's some substance lacking in the actual battle here. Although I've said it for since Marineford that I feel like if you're reading One Piece for the action, you're reading the wrong series.
It's
Last
true.
time that I really loved the action, I think had to be Annie's Lobby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably pretty accurate.
Yeah, everything since then has just been punch a little harder. There's moments.
Yeah.
There's moments, but it's always coupled with like there's a cool reveal of like, oh man, we got this new ability here. And
Yeah.
there's just not really abilities here aside from we're just going to channel all of our Conqueror's Haki at once.
Yeah.
Well, enough Duncan. Let's talk about some of the cool things that we're seeing. Well, actually, speaking of punching really hard, do you think punching really hard is going to help in the current storyline? Because we're seeing Domi Reversi up in Elbaf now. Is punching really hard going to be the answer?
Luffy, you didn't punch him hard enough. Do it again. Ugh.
Sorry, Doran Broggy, we're just going to have to put holes in you.
I don't think so. I feel like there's some other thing that they're gonna find. I I don't know what it's gonna be, but I feel like there's another answer to Domi Reversi. Or yeah, I
Is
don't know.
is it going to be more interesting than just Luffy being the sun god basically, just flipping people over the other way? Is it going to be that predictable,
I don't
or do you
think
think he's
so.
got something else behind his tucked up his sleeve?
I yeah, I don't what I don't know off the top of my head is like how like what the answer is, but I feel like the answer isn't just killing them.
Oh, for
Or like
sure.
punching them really hard.
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's got to be another way. That although that would be really dark if Oda was like, "Okay, you just have to kill them." Like that would be like, "Whoa, Oda, good job. You
Right?
finally killed someone for once."
Yeah, in the modern day, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That would
kill
be
someone. It's not
nuts.
even a flashback.
I'd personally would very much appreciate that.
Yeah, once I
I'm
learned
not
that.
a psychopath.
Yeah, I always felt like the Pell thing was really rough, but then when you had
Yeah.
Chiffon and what's her name's dad somehow surviving, that was where I was like, okay, nobody dies in the current story, I guess.
It's true.
unless you're,
It's true.
I guess there's Yasue.
I
Wano
got my
had some
hopes up in
deaths, but it
Wano
was
too.
yeah, and we got some
And
deaths in
then
Wano.
not enough.
Well, the Shunmaru
There are
was the
some
only
bad ones there.
Shunmaru was the only character I really cared about there, and he died. So,
Yeah, that's fair. That was fair.
Izo, the former member of the Whitebeard Pirates, Izo, yeah, he bit it there. But anyways, well, I I hope it ends up being something interesting. I'm with you. I think there
Yeah.
is no chance that this ends up being simply yeah, we're just gonna punch him really hard. That's gonna take
What
care of it. I'm just
what I
hoping that
could
it's
actually
also not gonna
see,
be Luffy just flipping them over with the Nika power.
what I could actually see, because Chopper hasn't had a lot of a lot of L's, a lot of wins
Yeah,
lately. It would be sick if Chopper actually did something for once and like cured people of this. Like we kind of got a little bit of that semi recently, but that would be cool. Like showing that Chopper is like really valuable. I don't know how he would do it,
that would be the thing to
but
me that would
yeah,
be impressive. I want to be, and that's something
that
that
would be
I just want
cool.
to be. I want to be impressed with this, um,
Yeah,
because I
like
get the
that's the whole deal with Chopper. Like he needs to step up.
yeah
He's so lame.
yeah
Like he needs a win. He
right
hasn't had a win in forever.
yeah, and I do understand why thematically it makes sense for Luffy to be the one to fix the
Yeah,
problem
save
with Domi
everyone.
Reversi, because
Yeah.
it's the whole thing Roger had. He got to Laugh Tale, and oh, I got here too early. He
Mhm.
faces Domi Reversi with Emu. I got here too early. We didn't have Nika. Um, it was the time. So Nika being the
Claus is
difference maker.
interesting. I guess could be okay.
Yeah, I see thematically why it needs
It's
to
tough.
happen. I just want it to be more interesting, because I know he's got it in
Yeah.
him. Well, let's hit this last because I don't think we have necessarily any predictions or theories. So let's close with this segment here. It's time again for the power rankings of characters. So the character stock market. There you go. So who had the biggest
Yeah.
stock increase or decrease if you felt like somebody really took a big L this chapter?
Um Personally, if I was gonna go with like who had the biggest raise, I think it's gonna be a combo of Garp and Roger because
Mm-hmm.
there's so much focus on them. Like seeing them team up was pretty cool.
Right.
Even though it wasn't like the best choreographed
Mm-hmm.
thing, like seeing them team up and like fight together, that's a huge stock increase in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're
I'm
already pretty legendary characters. We get to see them be more legendary.
I'm
But that mentality.
I'm definitely with you on that. And to me, it's hard not to pick them, uh,
Yeah.
especially when looking back through the chapter and I'm like, okay, what actually happened in this chapter?
What else is there?
Um, I do like that the last 20 years have all built up to a Marco Polo joke. Um, I really enjoyed that. Um,
Yeah.
honestly, that might be the thing that saves this flashback for me. It was the Marco Polo reveal. Um, mostly kidding, but also not. Um, I I'm gonna say I'm gonna go stock decrease on this one, and I'm gonna say Shiki. Uh,
Yeah, he was pretty lame.
yeah,
I
it's
also,
still
if
the
I was gonna
shipping
give
off
like
this
a
island. What do you?
decrease as well,
Mhm.
would be Kaido. He has been so lame this entire flashback, and he's still lame now. Like, look at this guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna create the most violent group." Like, dude, get out of here. Like, you're so lame.
Yeah, we didn't really get a motivation for that. You know?
Yeah, he's just like, "I'm gonna win through violence." That's my thing.
Yeah, it's
Like, okay, bro.
it does really come off as big man's got a dragon fruit and suddenly he thinks he's top dog, whatever.
All that. Yeah.
But yeah, my thing with Shiki here is yeah, let's
Yeah, I want to hear that.
yeah, let's steal the ship, get off this island. What, you mean Rox's ship? And then you get Shiki saying, "You really think he's coming back? This is the end of the Rox pirates." Ha 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 ha. Whatever. Gee ha 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 ha.
He's like, it's mine now.
Yeah,
Finders keepers.
yeah. It just comes off really like I can't tell if he's just like the instrument of the author to point out the obvious here, or if just Shiki is just
Probably that a little bit.
is Shiki actually just that lame? Like did we get anything cool from Shiki here? Like very briefly he was loyal to Rux, but he very quickly
Been pretty lame in general.
yeah, and we haven't really gotten
But
much
he's
from
always
him in
come
the main
across
story.
pretty lame.
Well,
To me.
aside from
I don't know.
his film, like he's cool in the movie, but he doesn't. Yeah, he just doesn't
That's
really
not canon.
fair. Yeah, yeah. Canonically, Shiki is lame, so that movie doesn't count. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that, and God Valley coming to a wrap, we want to hear from y'all in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on God Valley now that it's done? Do you think that there's more to the Elbaf storyline than just, you know, Nika ex Machina and, you know, just being the natural foil to it? We'll have to wait and see. But until then, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more. But also, we also talk a lot about video games on this channel. And right now we're in the middle of drafting our favorite games from our favorite consoles. And we're moving over to PlayStation this week after wrapping up the Nintendo side of things. Yeah, so that's going to be a good time. But for the rest of you, have a great week.